Hey everybody, what up? Scuffy here, and today I'm going to do some replay action, and we're going to be talking about the current event, showing off one of the current event decks that seems to be doing okay. There's actually quite a few options, but Durak Rask is the event deck that I've been taking a look at, and running with some decent amount of success. So I want to kind of show off and kind of highlight how it works, how best to make it work for you. So let's get into it. Bam. Switching up screens here. Okay. So really quick, just started a 10 times run, currently with Durak Rask. This is the deck that I've chosen, the Demon Vanguard deck. Now, he's actually got a couple good decks to choose from. You're not stuck on just relying on this deck. I forget the names of the other two, but the main one that you want to look for primarily is really you want to make sure that whatever deck that you're selecting at least has those 2 times endurance. Those are very big for Death Guard in general. Very big to swing the game around for you. This deck specifically, the reason I chose this, despite the varied cost, if you take a look at it here, it's very evenly dispersed. There's some high cost stuff, but I chose it for number 1, the 2 times endurance. Number 2, Captain Yu-Gi-Oh, who is in the deck here. Key car, and then on top of that, just the amount of front line in this deck is huge. Now, Durak Rask himself has got a great, if you're not too familiar with the game, if you're just starting up or you don't have the Death Guard access to you, Durak Rask, his ability is destroy structures and vehicles damaged by attacking them, which is big, believe it or not, especially in the mirror match. Number 2, for 2 energy, he can deal 4 damage to a damaged enemy troop. It's a great way to finish off those big beefy troops, or somebody throws something at you that looks scary. You hit it with something, and then you hit it with Rask's ability, and it's gone. So I chose it for his passives because within this event, and I don't know if you can actually, it's in here. No, that's reward. You're not going to see it here, but within this event, you've got the Death Guard, you have the Emperor's Children, and you have the Sons of Horus. And you also have the World Eaters. Now, the Sons of Horus, to some degree, but the Emperor's Children especially, have some very good vehicles. I chose Durak Rask to counter the early game Saul Tarvitz or Lucius decks that rely on that 3/3 stealth bike, because that's usually 6 to 9 damage that you're going to eat for dealing it. Instead, Durak Rask can deal with it with 3, and that changes up the way that they have to play. Also, he gets rid of your Hall of Rights. He gets rid of, I believe there's a deck, maybe a Death Guard deck with the Chaos Fortification. Gets rid of Command Bunkers, Wall of Bodies, and as I mentioned, any vehicle, even if it has a 7 health, 7 attack, sometimes if you've got the ability to heal with Captain Yu-Gi-Oh, with the endurance, it's worth it to destroy a vehicle, take 7, heal 3 even, as opposed to taking up to 14/21 from repeated strikes from that vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here, just at my battle log. I pinned a couple. They should be down here towards the bottom because it's been a while. I've been playing some games, getting started with the new season, feeling out some decks. But we're going to take a look and see specifically here how Durak Rask compares to Saul Tarvitz, Ezekiel Abaddon, and Durak Rask. I actually ended my last 12 run, was a 12-2. My 2 losses were to Abaddon and Lucius. Those are hard matchups. depending on how the pacing is. Abaddon has got a great passive ability, and Sons of Horus have got great cards, so he can very quickly dominate the game, and Lucius can build up steam very quickly, as well as direct damage cards. So those were the two losses to this deck. But let's go ahead and get started here and go through the matches. That's not the game I want to play. What is the deal here? Hang on here. Let's just end this, because that's not what I want to see. Now, this is the second time I've gone to play a video, and it's played not the video I want to see. And that video isn't even anywhere on here. Very interesting. Let's try this again. There might be a little issue with their feature here. No. Am I doing something wrong? No, I've played with the replay feature a little bit. Now this is this one up here, but that's not what I want. I want this. Maybe let's try unpinning it and try playing it again. I don't know if I like that. That's really odd to me. Let's try a different video. You guys are watching me. See, that's actually, it's playing this game up here at the top, but I want to play the games down here at the bottom. Let's try this one here. This is a game against Abaddon. Okay, it's giving me a different one here. Alright, well, I might have to send this in. We're going to have to go through all my videos now until we find the 3 that I'm looking to play, which is kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to have to take it in here. The replay, when you're hidden, the video is not giving you that you want. This one here, Alfarius versus Lucius. Where was I? Alfarius versus Lucius. Alfarius versus Lucius. Boy, that's not even on here. What the heck? Okay, now the mystery deepens. I'm going to unpin some stuff. Although I really want to save that, but the way things are going, I don't know. This was a good game if I can get it to load. No. I'm really kind of curious. Well, let's try this one. Alfarius versus Garrow. That's the video. You're going to have to bear with me here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pause it and try to sort through here and see if I can find the videos. I hate to chew up time, but at the same time, this kind of highlights an issue with replay. If anybody else is having these issues with replay, please let me know, and I will be right back. Well, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this yet or come across this. I'm going to go ahead and send a ticket in, but as it turns out, and I find this very interesting, all the rest of these games are from practice or from starting off the season or close of the night last night. There's even a Lodge Wars challenge match in here recorded. All of them seem to be playing fine, although this pin match, Alfarius versus Nathaniel Garrow, when I go to play it, is giving me this pin match, Alfarius versus Nathaniel Garrow against a different player, which means this pin is not playing the video that I want to play. To go along with that, these Rask games, which are all event games, are not playing anything whatsoever. As a matter of fact, they're playing games that aren't even on this list from older games. So I'm not sure what's causing that, and that's really disappointing because I saved those as soon as that replay feature came out, and I had some good runs because I wanted to demonstrate specifically the deck against each of these different types. So I'm going to have to kind of explain some strategy. I can't say old school because really it's the same thing I would have done like a week ago without really spending the time playing and because I don't want to waste too much time. I've already wasted enough time already sorting through this. So let's go back and take a look at that. Anyways, I'll go ahead and send a ticket in on this, and if you've come across it too, please let the devs know, or test it yourself. See if you're having this issue with the replay, because it really sucks if you're relying on something. I plan on relying on this to show game 1 of my Lodge Wars match, round 4, round 5. We're in round 5. Round 5. My matchups got to be spread out over a couple days because our scheduling is just so tight. We're kind of squeezing in games as we can get them in. So I'm looking to save them and play them all in a row. But if those videos aren't going to load, that's an issue. And I'm sure other people out there who are putting up videos and trying to share content, this is a great tool for us. But if it's not working, then it's a broken tool and we need to fix it. So Rask, as I was saying, don't be afraid to attack vehicles with Rask. Now, that doesn't mean be ridiculous about it or be foolish. You've got to do it if you know that you're going to be healing. So if there's a 5-5 vehicle and you take 5 to the face, but you heal 2 or you heal 3 following up with an endurance late game, that's not a bad trade-off, because you're getting rid of a decently beefy troop. In addition to that, with Yu-Gi-Oh!, you don't just throw them out there willy-nilly. If you're a newer player, you might be a little bit more thinking that you play him out early as a 3-4, or on a 3-drop, or on a 4-drop, or behind one front line. Normally, that's a card that you want to hold on to until you can guarantee that you're going to kill 1 to 3 or more troops, and that includes your own units within that turn. So not only do you put him on the table, you clear some units and you heal, 4 to 6 to 8 even. Sometimes it's even better if it's a late game, but you drop Yu-Gi-Oh!, you play Endurance, you kill a bunch of things, you heal 3 from Endurance, and then on top of that, you heal from all the killing that you've done. I actually think this event is very well balanced, and I know the Loyalist decks are kind of sparse. I think Shabandar has got a way to win. It's tricky, but it can be done. Loken's deck is a solid deck, but it kind of pales in comparison to the Abaddon and Lucius. Tarvitz is not bad if he can get going, and again, why I chose Rask against Tarvitz is because normally Tarvitz relies on throwing down a 3-3 first turn that you've got to deal with, or hitting you with a troop, and then buffing that troop up. Well, if that troop is damaged, I don't care if you buff it, because I'm going to pay 2 and I'm going to deal 4 damage to it, and that's probably going to kill it on the next turn, which is a great counter strategy. In addition to that, the front line for Rask is a good counter. Not the best, because it's, as you saw, these decks here, or this deck specifically, is probably probably the beefier in terms of cost distribution of his decks. There's a lot of 5s and 6s, and those can be hard if your opening hand is a bunch of 4s and 5s, and you're all alone for the first 2-3 turns in the game without any troops on board. That can hurt, especially against the Lucius deck. So you always want a mulligan to try to get the cheapest troops possible. You don't want to say, oh, what's a good 6-cost card? Chuck it. It's not going to do any good. You need to have some cards, even if it's just a wall of bodies. Sorek bikes, Kortug bikes are your ideal starters, obviously. And Sorek bikes, don't just throw those out there just to do a quick 2 damage. What those are really good for is they're basically a 4 energy combo. 2 to play the bikes, 2 to play Rask's ability, and you have the ability to deal 6 damage to any troop. Now, this is a common Rask strategy, so if you're familiar with playing Rask in ladder, that's no surprise to you. However, the events are easy access for newer players who might not be so familiar with that, so that's something to take into mind, take into consideration. And if you follow that up with Yu-Gi-Oh!, that's a 7 energy combo, but basically you might kill the bikes, kill the unit, you've healed 2, or you've healed 4, 2 from each of those, and you've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Still on the table. Forge Complex can be a good card, as it's generating additional troops into your hand, although you don't know what you're going to get. It has the potential for you to generate Ambassador Melgator. It also has the potential just to generate like a 1/1, lowly, or a 10 or 9 cost troop that you've already got plenty of 10s and 9 costs for. So you've really got to play smart with that. If you are in a position at turn 5 or 6 to play Forge Complex, that's fine. It'll pay in dividends as the game goes on, but it's not a must play. Your must play is definitely want to take a look and make sure that when you're dropping your Zaggart squads, when you're dropping your Gizalk Terminators, these guys here, you want to gain their rally ability. Unless it's like a clutch play, don't drop them if there's other troops on the table, go for something else. If you can. If you must put a card down, that's fine. But normally that front line keeps Rask alive even longer, because things will soften up against your front line. Even if they kill your Zaggart squad, whatever it is, took 4 damage. That means it's damaged. That means it's vulnerable to his ability, and that's what you want. You want to draw out whatever beef that they've got to throw at you, get rid of it, and then follow up late game with your Halden Towel, with your Mordant, even the Imperial Raper. Although I don't never really like dropping 10-drop stuff until I've seen their destroy card, and I think most decks in this event have one card that is a destroy troop. For instance, Spectre of Death. Now, Spectre of Death here is a great card, specifically with Rask, because what it does is it summons those 2 Nurglings, and Nurglings are just 1/3 troops with backlash returned to them to your hand. Well, combo that with Rask's ability, and now you've got 2 Nurglings, and yes, they have an upkeep of 1 each. So if you've got 2 on the table, you're not going to really be able to play Mordant or the Imperial Reaper, because of their cost. But if there's Nurglings aren't dealt with, you can send out a Nurgling, deal a damage, and then use Rask's ability, deal 4 more damage. That's 5 damage. Get a troop back. You happen to have Captain Yu-Gi-Oh! Heal 2, throw it down, do it again. Actually, you'd heal 4, 2 from the Nurgling and 2 from destroying the whatever it is. So, very good deck. Solid deck. The biggest obstacles to it are the cost, in terms of, you very well might get stuffed in your hand that you can't do anything with, and that might delay you, in which case you've got to play smart with Rask's ability to try to survive. And then also the fast decks. Abaddon is a hard match because Abaddon's ability can deal the damage quickly to your early stuff, making it harder for you to properly utilize your late game stuff. He can easily eliminate your Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's also got Drop Pod on some of his troops, which protects them from Rask for the turn, protects them from, endurance. You've got to basically use more of your guys to attack to do that damage. So those are your hard matchups. I would probably say is Abaddon and Lucius. Now to go with that, those are both solid warlords this event, so good choices all around. I would say that's probably the reason between those 3 guys why Chaos is currently winning. But to be honest with you, if you're a new player, you might not experience it yet. But through the course of most events, this statistic, what side is winning the game, or winning the event rather, usually tends to be decided by where the decks are that are good, as opposed to what prize people want to see. Although I do want to see the Chaos victory in this instance. I really want to see this card in the Mandragorax deck. Mandragorax. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Anyways, so I'm talking about it. I don't get really showed off. I'm really kind of bummed. This is going to be a shorter video than I thought it would be. And I'll send out that ticket to the devs, and hopefully they can kind of correct that and fix that issue, and hopefully that doesn't throw off any other things that I was looking to record and share. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this was a little bit helpful. I don't have the time nor desire. I've been playing it for an hour tonight, trying to get into the season and figuring out what I'm going to be using. I'm just trying to save time. I just kind of had the energy taken out of me by that issue with the videos. So, anyways, that's it for me. I'll look to put something up here for the recruit level stuff, talking about sentenced. That's still on my agenda to do. Also to go with it, if I do get some more videos up that are key to those matchups, I will try to upload those just briefly, just to kind of say, there you go, here's the proof of what we were talking about, and with a little bit more play-by-play. And other than that, hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have my round 5 Lodge Wars matchups all finished up, and if there's no issues with the video playbacks, I'll be able to share those as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, and keep playing Legions. All right, bye.